Hello and welcome. It is the completion of the 23rd day of December 2020. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. And a lot to go over and a lot of volatility within the crypto markets. Bitcoin, Ripple, look at Theta, and the Bitcoin dominance as well is a big issue as well. So let's get started off with Bitcoin and the daily term time frame. I guess 6 days. And this is the 6 candles in here of it just going sideways. And even say just these ones in here because it hit the high on this day here. So you have a move, just a couple days going up, sideways that move, just outstanding. The 4 green candles up and then just sidewaysing it or correcting the market via that of time. Very close to catching up within the front weighted 18 average of highest prices. So holding in there, that's a very good bullish sign, getting above that big previous all-time high level of 20,000 as it did so on the 16th of December. Still hanging in there within the weekly term time frame, still extended above the 18 average, and it broke away from it October 19th, and there has been, this is on period number since 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 or something, and just continuation to the upside. Only bit of sideways movements we could see in here. The 3 here, November 23rd, the 30th, and the December 7th stamp. Even a little bit so on the November 9th. And looking at this way here right now, showing a little bit of sideways movement within this movement. The excitation we've been having within the monthly term time frame to me is just very amazing. It can still be just resistance at this level, piercing extra, as it has just barely gotten by the previous 2017 all-time high of a hair under 20,000, and now it's a little over, got a little over 20% above that point. So markets to me looking very, very good overall within the Bitcoin front. 4-hour term time frame. Major support has been established at about 22,480, and then major resistance at about 24,000 hair above that. So it's in the sideways range. Had an attempt to break down on December 21st in the morning. Obviously not that time, not doing so. An attempt here to break out on December 22nd at the end of the day, not doing so again. Even again here on December 23rd, and barely broken down below here, but just a lot of the sideways consolidation has been the case. And you can see just a lot of volatility. What's going on here at the 1700 hour? It's just a bit, this is just big volatility that's going on with the market. 15-minute term time frame, we can see it breaking down from 23.4, going down. And I want to take a look at this on the 1-minute term time frame on the 1 minute with a tether, because it's just interesting volatility. Okay, this is just a spot where breaking down at 5:07 p.m. Eastern time from pretty much 23,300, and it goes down to 22,600 change. So it's only about 2.5%. And then the recovery within the intraday move, just very, very nice. So anyway, let's move on next to Bitcoin dominance. And on the calculated by trading view, 70% or 70.05 handle, as it is showed a lot of strength at the 18 average highs up to December the 16th, and it just had a breakout session on the 17th and has continued to do so, getting above the resistance of the 67 low change. On the weekly term time frame, a retest of this previous high from last year, and last year is 2019 last year, so over a year ago, like year and change. And monthly chart getting by that would be an interesting situation. That would be like Bitcoin winning almost an end game if it can get up here. I don't know if it can get up here and hold and stay above there. If it does, that's what happens. But a lot of coins going down today. The only ones I'm showing that would be going up. Well, Bitcoin has been doing well. Theta's up against Bitcoin, but practically everything is down against Bitcoin today because, well, if you can see on the dominance, whenever you have a daily move of a huge green candle up day like today, that just tells you that the whole, pretty much the entire field of altcoins is in the red against Bitcoin. And one of the ones leading the way would be Ripple, as Ripple is down near 40% today, 39.34. The close is in 8 minutes from now. So a 40% down day against the Bitcoin. Yesterday it was down significant at 17%. And this is news related. I normally don't care about news, but I had to actually search like what's going on with Ripple. I had no idea until this thing was down to like, oh, I don't remember, number 16 or 15 handle. So it's early in the morning, and apparently they're basically filing like the SEC. I always think of the Southeastern Conference of College Football, but it's not the Securities Exchange Commission. Is they're basically saying they're confident they're going to win the long run. Basically, if they're good to go, and they're saying that this is not a security, this is basically a crypto. Basically, it's in those type of measures. I think Ripple's good to go, but it's an interesting gamble, and that's basically really what it is, risk reward. Because if there comes good news in a situation like this, and that's what oftentimes will happen with this. I think a lot of this is FUD on the selling. And that means you have days where it's like, oh, a 3x, 4x, 5x day, basically. And then a week or 2 week period where this thing will just have, like, this move will be nothing compared to the moves that would happen, kind of. There's been a lot of these things when they go up fast. So that would be an interesting, and that's how I'm looking at it. So for me, it's been just going down completely all day long. I guess I was starting to buy it in there around 1,300. I was been buying it at around these prices in here. As I just flipped my trades, I won like my Theta cross against Ripple. It's like 100% move since my last one. The ratio is doubled, the Theta versus Ripple ratio. And in looking at that ratio, it's 0.24 now, or 4-1 on the other side. Wasn't that long ago? Here was like 1. So before I last traded, somewhere around here at the 0.5 mark. Well, it would have been like yesterday probably, or even around here somewhere. It was actually better than, it was like 120% actually. But these things can just have these fantastically large moves. But that's what I like about it. If it goes up, I sell on the way up and buy on the way down. And now let's move on to Theta, which is actually up on today's session. It was up a lot more. We can see it's got a white line, but it's up 0.39% against Bitcoin. It had excitation of the 18 average of highs on December the 22nd, and it was like a hold-in day, extending through the highs, reaching the levels not seen last since the just before Halloween. And now if it's able to hold and stay within this level, the next price objective would be 5,529 Satoshi against the Bitcoin 18 average of highs and lows is now rising. And there was a lot of resistance before here, just still north of the 4,000 handle, even like 39 high change. That's an area I'd like to see be supported. There's going to be any pullbacks. And at the stage now, that's like 600 off of where we are now. So that'd be about a 15% additional pullback, if, of course, that's going to be the case. And just a beautiful run this has been having. Got up to this Fibonacci point right at the end of the day on December the 21st. Pulled back down to the moving average, and then it congested and resisted it still for a while, but it got past it at the end of the 22nd day, almost pretty much supporting it here. But now it's showing some weakness, as if it wants to now break down below the 18, reverse the trend, go up, go down, go down, go up, you go down kind of deal. So a very good run that it had. So there's always going to be corrections back and forth. So you can talk about like Fibonacci from this level to this level. Where do we need to hold from where we came from? Basically, 61.8%. Whether it will or will not, time, of course, will only tell. But yeah, Theta is performing very, very well. When looking at it against the US dollar, $1.06, trading against the Tether as at 6:56 p.m. today, as it's just been having a nice little run above the 18 average of highs, another all-time high day today. The high price today got up to $1.21, as it did previously have this interesting area where it resisted in here, a little bit uptrend. So because we had this little bit of resistance in here, there's going to be any pullbacks, and we can see there's been a little bit of support in there. But the even dollar number here is a level that would be a big, interesting support. Now, it doesn't have to support there to have to be bullish. It's not, if it goes down below, it's not just going to be a breakdown situation, because a lot of it will still be Fibonacci or retracement from this level and with this high right now. And then where do we come from to hold? Where the upper end of this resistance is about 77 cents or so, 79, even 80. So if it actually happens to come back down here, and then that would not be a surprise either. but obviously Theta is in a very, very good situation. And it's interesting just looking at a lot of the markets against both the Bitcoin and the dollar. As an example, like say LTC, I've been mentioning how volatile and how a lot of big up and down choppy moves that's been going on. It's just been a continuation of such. 4-hour term time frame, we can just see how it's at the start of the 17th day of December, the 4136 handle up to the 518, and then just this big volatile move down to 43.8 up to here, down to where we are now. And just even within this period here, just you can see that this hour here just having a very volatile hour in itself. So just a lot of big moves coming into play, and volatility, of course, pretty big within the market. I want to go over some previous comments in the last video, and one of which, I don't get this one here. This comes in like automated. A lot of times I remove them, and I will remove this in a bit, but I don't understand why they're doing it. It's kind of like, I mean, do I want to get those comments in? Even though they're junk comments, just for purposes. They're not really, what are they trying to sell? I look at their page, it's like, I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, why did I get like, it's like an insect that just attacks you, leeches you, and now I'm affected, and they just, every time I put a video up, they just seem to come up. ETPH, thank you for your video. I'm very interested in your trading method. Do you have a video explaining your trading method in detail? In my more information box, I have all of that in there. And that, if so, for example, I mentioned about my trades with, like, say, all my coins together. I mentioned Ripple, of course, with Theta. Of course, I trade Ripple with other things as well too. But that explains a lot of things. And for what it's worth, I got a lot of videos, like, for years and years and worth, like hundreds, if not well over 1,000 different videos, and just everything is explained, major detail, just video over video. Dr. Andy D, hello, Derek. Hello, I should be stating. He's commented many videos before. Hello back, and couple times recently, Caleb, C-A-L-E-B, I'm not too sure how it's pronounced. Can you do a chart analysis on the cryptocurrency Nano? And I did want to still go on to Litecoin against the dollar, but just show the difference of how these coins are versus a dollar and the Bitcoin. Nano down today about 8.4% against the Bitcoin. Here you see a failed break. And a lot of things that I talk about, it's the same with all of the any chart for that matter, really, in that how does it react within such, you can see, okay, we had a breakout in here. How did it hold? Well, one of the biggest ones is 61.8%. So if this high to this low, and I can roughly estimate somewhere around here, and you can see how the failure would have just for that would have came recently. But just working within this on the 18, because every time a market has a big move, it's going to have to get above the 18 like it does in here. And then the 18, which was either declining and or going sideways kind of deal before, it's going to start to rise, which means any support would have to be high or low territory. And I've stated before and so many times, if you see weakness above the 18 lows, then that can show you indication of a possible failed breakout, and indication of weakness on the 18 lows for further downside movement. So here we have the spot where it supports it. And then they're showing, now there's stating in here, okay, now it's starting to break down. You come in here and you make a little rally into this point. Thus we can see we're resisting this support. And then as it's breaking down below in here, shouldn't be too much of a surprise to see how the follow through has been. We've even resisted it within today's average on the 18 as well. And then a lot of things I've also said with a lot of charts before, come back to previous key areas, a spot where we'd be looking for support. Okay, let's look, we see it. How well is this going to be? Because it's also a spot where it's just it's a strong area of support, at least on the short term. It's very hard to buy anything like you're going to go in here and you're going to make a match high and then a higher high. I mean, there's no indication in that by any means. But it's both bullish and bearish to stop going down from here, which means on a bullish level, of course, you're just going to have to go up. But on a bearish level, that means you could very easily congest at this level, go sideways, or we can even rally up here and make some sort of lower high from this one. And of course, we'd be getting a move above the 18, and I'm not going to say that's going to happen. It's going to fail, but it's if you don't get support here, then you can see just in previous spots that we've had this area here basically now resisting this level of support. This level of support in here, I mean, it actually didn't even resist this level of support. If you look at Nano against the dollar, so this here, because Bitcoin's in a big downtrend, and well, it wasn't a downtrend against the dollar here from 2018, and it's been pretty much sideways, hanging in there, priced in up to pretty much up to $1.75 to $1. That's where it's at now. And of course, LITECOIN I mentioned was at low prices. It's a little over $100 right now against the dollar. It was like 120 something, and then it's been pulling back today and recently. $100 even now. So as it goes in here, we've had the breakout on December the 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days up. And for key Fibonacci points, where we came back here, 68.25, this area here, pretty much general area, must hold. I like to say if it's going to come back, not even, just hold even 88, but market's always going to do what they're going to be doing. And it's in a correctionary test now after it was overextended. 18 average of lows is rising at 91, so previous resistance in at that same area. If we got to break down below that for me to state that there's any type of statement that this is going to attempt to revert it to the downside. The last time it tried to do that was just in here. It failed, and down there as well. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.